my name's Elizabeth Allen. I'm the director of Ramona and Bezus, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about filmmaking. Filmmaking is such a fun job because you get a chance to be on a set, you get to work with actors, you get to pick out your wardrobes and design sets. And the best part is that when you're done, you've created something that you can share with everyone. When I first started out making films, I was actually really scared of the process, and I want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable. All you need is a great imagination and a little camera. But there are a few things you can do to prepare to make a film, and I'm here to talk a little bit about that. So before you start filming, one of the things that's most helpful that you can do is to draw out how you want your movie to look shot by shot. We call it storyboards. I find that storyboards can be incredibly helpful because when you're on set, everyone's looking to you wanting to know what we're about to film, and you can't unzip your brain and show them what's inside of it. So instead, you use this as a tool to show everyone what we're about to do. On Ramona and Bezus, I didn't storyboard the entire movie, but I chose the most complicated scenes to storyboard in advance. One of the things I do is I take all of my photos and my storyboards and everything, and I put them on a bulletin board, and I put it in a place where everyone's going to see it, which is usually by the food. So everyone comes and they can see exactly what we're going to do that day. Also, if you don't feel like drawing or it's not one of your skills, one of the things I've also done in the past, if I have to figure out exactly what I'm going to shoot, is take a couple of people, even if they're not the real actors that are going to be in the shot, and place them within the scene and take pictures. I used my two assistants, and they'd act out all the scenes, and I'd place them in position, and we'd have everything figured out in advance. Oh! One of the most fun things about Ramona is all the daydreaming and the fantasies that she has. And so what we did to create this on film is we did little animated versions of it in advance. We call this animation in the film business animatics or previs. In Ramona and Bezus, we created animatics for the jungle gym scene, when the bankers take the house. We did it for when she's parachuting over all of Portland, and when she jumps into outer space on her bed, and I'd be able to show it to all the actors and to the crew so that when they were doing this performance, they were actually doing it in front of like a green screen, but they knew what they were really supposed to be looking at. And once the film is done, it's really fun to look at the final scene and compare it to how we originally planned it. Sometimes it's exactly like we planned, and sometimes there's new things that happen. So in any movie, probably the most important thing to do is to cast it well. And not only do you want to find the perfect person for the part, but you also have to make sure that all your actors work really well together.
Hi, I'm Joey King, and I play Ramona Quimby. And I'm here to talk to you a little bit about acting today. Auditioning can be nerve-wracking because, there's people there and there's cameras. But what I do to get over my nervousness is I pretend that all those things are just ordinary objects like trees or stop signs or whatever.
One of the best things you can do once you've found some ideas for casting is to actually have them read together, because you want to see if the chemistry works between your different actors.
A screen test is where you test out the scene with the actual person who was already hired.
In our case, we did that with Ramona and with Bezus, and we brought Selena and Joey together.
Is that delicious?
I bet it is. For the screen test for Ramona, I did a couple different scenes. One was the lemonade scene, and the one where she buries her face in the pillow after she spit lemonade on Henry.
Who could ever love a girl named Bezus?
Jesus?
Get out!
From the minute I walked in that room to do those scenes with her, I knew we would hit it off. We were like real sisters during the scenes. When I watched the movie, it does seem like we're real sisters.
Oh, it's fantastic! Fantastic!
I feel better now.
And this is definitely one of the things you guys should try too, is just put them in a room together and explore and find out if you've really got the right people for your roles. Remember, it's all about chemistry.
Action! Help!
Once you're actually on set and you're shooting, it's helpful for the actors if you create a really comfortable environment where they can feel like they can be goofy and they can take chances and play around.
Come here!
Because you're always going to get the most natural, honest performances that way. Sometimes you might ask your actors to do things that are a little bit scary or a little bit uncomfortable. And in those cases, I think it's good to kind of go with the actor through the experience. There was this one scene where Joey had to get spit in the face with a bunch of peas, and we had designed a little air propulsion device to spit it straight at her.
Ugh, goodness. I was so nervous for that day. So Liz, she decided to be the guinea pig, and she decided to do it first, because that would make me feel better, because I was really nervous.
Mom, I got Roberta to eat peas.
Yeah, I got all this gross green stuff spit all over me, and the whole crew was teasing me, but it was definitely worth it, because when it came time for Joey to do it, she was more comfortable.
It was mushed up gunky peas.
One of the craziest scenes we did is a water fight scene where it starts with Jennifer Goodwin's character getting doused with a huge bucket of water. Now, we really only had one shot at this, because if we messed up, we would have to dry Jennifer Goodwin's hair, we'd have to get her new clothes again. It would take at least an hour out of our day. So to avoid all that wasted time, I was the guinea pig, and I stood in where Jennifer Goodwin was going to be, and I made sure that Josh could throw that far and with a lot of water and really douse me. Though it was really cold, it was a lot of fun. And this is something you guys can do if you have a complicated scene. Don't work it out the first time with your actor, but bring in a crew member or do it yourself, and make sure you've got everything ironed out before you actually shoot it.
I hope you've learned a little bit about what acting is like. If you like movies and if you like acting, I encourage you to go out and try it.
When I was 5 years old, I started reading the Ramona books, and if you had told me back then that I would be able to grow up and make it into a movie, I never would have believed it. But I just want to encourage all of you guys to do the same thing. It doesn't need to be scary. It's a fun process. Just close your eyes, imagine what kind of stories you want to tell. Grab your friends, grab a camera, and go do it.
Okay.